Hi, I'm Kierin. I'm 21 years old. Since I was 16, I've been a volunteer rural firefighter, and I'm going to tell you all about the job.
Many rural areas rely on volunteer firefighters to protect their bushland and communities. The Okareka Volunteer Fire Force is one of 3 rural forces in the Rotorua region. Their Chief Fire Officer is Builder Philip Muldoon.
My definition of the Rural Fire Force, we solely rely on volunteers as members. It's generally people who live in the community, come and give their time, voluntary. They're on basically a 24/7-day-a-week call-out. We get issued with pages, and the siren goes up and the pager goes off. And if you're available at the time, you turn up at the station and we go to whatever incident we get turned out to.
So our volunteer rural fire parties are just that. They are based in the rural areas. They're not urban firefighters. They predominantly respond to vegetation fires. They can be called to house fires and MVAs or motor vehicle accidents as well. And they can be asked to help with rescues and stuff occasionally as well. So
make sure you've got gloves, helmets. All right.
Today's call-out is just a practice. The Okareka Fire Force get together once a week to hone their teamwork. So what motivated our guys to volunteer in the first place?
Yes, we shifted down here from Auckland some 12, 13 years ago. And I was home one evening and I heard the siren go off. And the next day I went down to the local shop and just inquired as to what the siren was for, and promptly got brought around to the fire station and signed up there and then. And yeah, 12 years later, it's probably the best thing I've ever done. Really, really enjoyed it. Okay guys, practice today, we're going to use the medium pump. We're going to draft water from the lake, run a 70mm up to the back of the truck. Once we've established water at the truck, we're going to run the high pressure hose reel off the back of the truck.
I joined the fire brigade when I was 16, and initially I started off just for sort of, something fun to do, and it's a bit of a community thing to do.
The second drill is fire break cutting, an important weapon in fighting bushfires.
for us, we're probably looking at an age of probably no less than 16. We put them into a bit of a mentoring program and worked them up over a couple of years to give them enough experience so that they're able to respond and act accordingly. As a volunteer, if you're putting up your hand, you obviously are going to need to have some sort of time to commit for training and to be able to respond. You're going to need to have a fairly clear head and be able to think outside the square sometimes.
The first call out, there's a lot of adrenaline rushing, through your body. Even up to the 20th, even sometimes today, you still get a lot of excitement when you turn up. You've got to remain calm and get through the job.
It was well done, guys. I was quite impressed. You can see how hard it is to dig a fire break in the bush when you've got a lot of vegetation around. But you guys did really well. It's just go at a steady pace, don't go in flat out, because you've got to pace yourself to last all day. You could be on the hand tools for quite a long time.
Helicopters allow access to more remote bush areas. Training to use them is one of the many unit standards that go towards gaining NZQA certified qualifications in rural firefighting.
Right guys, for our training today, we're looking at covering unit standard 2388, which is work safely with aircraft at emergency incidents. This is a level 3 2-credit unit.
With the dry run complete, it's time for the full noise. Training with the helicopter is a highlight for all volunteers.
Kieran's been with Lake Okareka for approximately 5.5 years. The last 4 years of that, he's been signed onto a structured training program and is working his way towards a level 2 national certificate now. In fact, he's nearly completed that, about 90% complete.
Benefits of doing this is you gain, great experience. You work with helicopters, you learn to drive emergency vehicles, and you also learn about the fire environment.
And then from there, well, obviously with Kierin, he's moved on into paramedics and is now doing training with that. So there's a good follow-on from becoming a volunteer and giving your time up and gaining qualifications that can also help you in your day-to-day life as well.
Working with a helicopter has inherent dangers from spinning rotors, and the monsoon bucket holds 700 litres of water when loaded. So training, discipline and teamwork are very important.
Once they're here and they see what we do and the qualifications involved and the experience they gain, gives them great life skills for later on in life. Kierin's been an absolute benefit to this brigade. Yeah, he's very professional in the way he goes about incidents. He's now a crew leader. He can handle the incidents with no problem. He takes the guys on board. The young fellas seem to adhere to Kierin's method of teaching, and yeah, he's really come along in leaps and bounds.
So for anyone that's interested in joining the local rural fire force, I think it'll be a great opportunity for them to gain experience and to have a bit of excitement. Even if you're not too sure what you want to do after high school, it's a good place to start, and yeah, see where you end up.
To be a volunteer rural firefighter, you must have a responsible attitude, you'll need a good level of physical fitness and an understanding employer, as you could be called away on an emergency at any time. Although it's unpaid, the benefits include helping your local community, learning teamwork under pressure, and gaining useful skills in first aid and emergency response procedures. And you can go on to gain qualifications in rural firefighting.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.